I don't know if you mind or not, but I was thinking I might YouTube a little kind of conversation with you. Do you think that would be cool?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you want to say your name or anything. I don't know if this will even wind up on anything special, but I was going to try and like recap the part of the conversation that I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
so, do you mind restating your question?
sure. Ready?
Yeah, go.
All right. You're going to panhandle. Why panhandle in Flagstaff where it's 25 degrees? Why not go to Phoenix where it's nice and warm?
Okay, and I'm going to recap what my answer was, which is, and I think I'll call this YouTube, Why Panhandle in Flagstaff where it's 25 degrees? Because that's a reasonable approximation of what it is, and we'll see how many hits that gets. So my answer was, I told him some elongated story where I showed off, where I was like, well, I'm an ethnologist and I've studied this and that. And I went to Philly for a while and I was explaining to him like I was hanging out in two different kinds of neighborhoods. I hung out in like some crack neighborhoods and even got arrested real quick in one. That was kind of fun because the cop wouldn't let me stay. I was sitting on a fence just chilling in a crack neighborhood and he was like, he rolls down his window, he says, buy what you're gonna buy and get out of here. And I told him I'm not here to buy anything and I don't have to leave. It's just a neighborhood. Like, how does a cop have a right to kick me out of a neighborhood? He ends up arresting me to prove his point because he was supposedly so worried about my safety. I had the wrong color skin to be hanging out there, right? And hey, does one of you guys happen to have a buck you could spare? Hi.
Hi.
Do you have any like change or anything?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so I thought about this originally in Philly because I hung out in a neighborhood called the Main Line where I'd time the pizza shop closures at 9 o'clock, go through the dumpster, get more than a pie's worth of still warm pizza, and then go to a crack neighborhood where, you know, there's a bunch of poor people or homeless people, and I've kind of traveled the world and seen where there's people who are homeless of all sorts of varieties. They always seem to live in city centers, and in every city center there's always outskirts with rich-ass neighborhoods where the homeless people could go where it's not tramped out and they could have a great life like I did for like 2 or 3 weeks in the Main Line in Philly. And so I'm kind of confused by this. And I told him I think my answer is that people would rather be around their own kind. And it helped me realize something about myself, which is I'm staying in Flagstaff because I don't see any more reason why I should leave than anyone else. It's just as cold for everyone else. They got to put on gloves. The winter changes for them too. They have to suddenly heat their homes. Their heaters could break and they could get cold just like my blankets could get wet in my campsite. And I guess I consider myself a peer of quote unquote normal people. So I want to hang out with my peers. I don't want to run away to any more than anyone else has to. What do you think of that answer, sir?
Makes sense to me.
Yay. Okay.